This video is being brought to you by Patreon support. If you want to support me on Patreon, it's only $1 a month, and it really helps out the channel and helps get stuff like what I'm covering today on the channel. So if you want to help me out, it's in the description below, and at the end of the video, you can just click the link, and it'll bring you right to my page. Thank you, and on with the video. Okay, I've been wanting to do a video talking about this Adult Swim show for a while, but I kind of waited because I wanted to get my own copy of it. And I know that sounds weird. What am I talking about? My own copy? My brother actually owns this entire series, but what he owns is the American release of each of the seasons of the show in individual cases. So we technically already own it, so buying this was kind of stupid, but I actually like the way this is packaged, and I like the cover art. I think it's really funny, and it's a really funny show, and that show is Sealab 2021. And I have the Sealab 2021 Deep Pressure Complete Collection. Now, this is an Australian import, and it is Region 4. And how I watch it is using VLC player on my PC. And there's the back. And you can see it says Region 4, if I can get it in the frame here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it says it in the corner. But Sealab 2021 is kind of a spoof / like retooling of a show called Sealab 2020. Sealab 2020 was originally like a kid show that was about like a deep sea research center down at the bottom of the sea that basically researched like marine life, and there were episodes like where there was saving certain fish or whatever. I haven't watched too much of the original show, so I'm not sure of like all the topics they covered, but basically it was a kids show, and I don't think it had that many episodes. So, it's basically a retooled version of that, but more adult, and it's definitely like spoofing the show. There's only one episode where they actually like, I think they actually took an actual episode and revoiced it with the Sealab 2021 actors, and actually did like a real Sealab 2020 episode. But that was only one episode. Other than that, like, it's a complete like comedic take on the entire show, and it literally has nothing to do with what the show is like loosely based on. So it centers around Captain Murphy, Marco, Stormy, Dr. Quinn, Debbie, and Sparks, and a few other minor characters like Hesh, Dolphin Boy. I don't want to say the name that. I'll say her full name, Debbie. I think her last name is hold on, let me. Okay, I don't know why I spaced on her name, but the one character, Debbie, her full name is Debbie Dupree. The other character, Debbie, is Debbie Love. But in the show, and in the show's context, it is very funny. And I don't know if today people would find it insensitive, but they all call her, well, one of the characters, Stormy, because he's an idiot, calls her Black Debbie. And he whispers it. He whispers Black Debbie. And that episode is really funny. The episode that part's in. Because Marco's like, well, why don't you call the other Debbie why do you call her Black Debbie? You know she's black. And why do you call the other Debbie White Debbie? And Stormy's like, well, I know she's white. That's stupid. And then Marty's like, well, why do you call the other Debbie Black Debbie? You know she's black. It's just like a whole joke on like him being like mildly racist. It's really funny. But that's basically the entire show. Like, I think the first episode is the Happy Cake Oven episode. I think my brother can correct me if I'm wrong with what episodes are where, because he'll remember better than I will. But literally, Captain Murphy has a Happy Cake Oven that Sparks steals and basically like rigs with a bomb and like tear gas, but he puts it outside the ship, like by a giant squid, I think it is, and like he wants the Sealab crew, like Stormy, Quinn, and Debbie, I think, to go get it, and they like almost get killed from it, and like Captain Murphy doesn't care like if they die or not. He especially if Stormy dies, he wants Stormy to like die for some reason. I don't know why, but whatever. But it turns out that the entire episode was basically a dream, because at the end of the dream, Spark says he also rigged one of the buttons on there with like a 50 megaton bomb or something. I forget the exact wording of it. And Mark is like, well, I better get down there. And then, like, he's just like, henchman walk in. Because earlier, like, Marco talks about wanting to become one of Spark's henchmen in his new, like, utopian world he has. I don't know, it's a really weird episode. But it's funny. And Marco is actually voiced by Eric Estrada, which I think that's what lends well to Marco's characters, because it's Eric Estrada. And it's really funny, some of the weird, dumb, like, stupid shit they'll have Eric Estrada say as Marco. And I've actually met Eric Estrada before. I'll put the pictures up, because he actually had prints of Marco Cruz. I think his name's like Marco Cruz or Marco Del Conte. It's something weird. His name's Marco, whatever. I forget his full name in the show. It's something weird and like a weird long Spanish name for some reason. But he was like really surprised that I actually like wanted to get a Sealab print signed. And he rubbed my hair too before I like left. Yeah. I don't know. That was kind of weird, but I'll give it a pass because it was Eric Estrada, whatever. But he was like bye, and like rubbed my hand. I'm like, okay, that was weird, but whatever. I'm not saying he wasn't nice, but it was just awkward that he did that, because my wife and I were like, what was that? My wife and I still bring it up today. Like we're like, what was that anyway? But I wish I would have had this set back then. I knew it existed, but I just never wanted to dump the money on it, because I didn't think my Patreon supporters would want me to. But you guys always say you don't care, so that's why I just pulled the trigger on. And plus, this one I got was the last one in stock that this seller had, so it's actually pretty tough to find this version of it. And it's basically just the same stuff my brother has, just repackaged in one big set. It's not like only in Australia you can get the complete series. It's only in Australia you can get this version of the complete series. But anyway, there's other episodes like where Hesh mutates into Monster Hesh with the Pro Shop, when Captain Murphy's trying to find the Pro Shop. That episode is really funny. There's an episode where Dr. Quinn has to take over for teaching all the kids there because Black Debbie is, or Debbie Love is the teacher there, and he has to take over for her. Cause is that the football episode? I'm pretty sure that's the football episode where she plays football or something. I think, but that's a way later episode where they silently like write out Captain Murphy because the guy voicing him, Harry Gause, was starting to get ill, and I think he was either really ill or like already dead at that point or dying, or like basically getting to the point where he couldn't work that much anymore. So they like silently wrote him out. But that's when Captain Shanks, who ironically and funnily enough is voiced by his son. So that was kind of cool. And some of that's when the show kind of, in my opinion, lost its luster a little bit because Captain Murphy was like the star of the show because he was just so damn stupid. He was probably more dumb and I don't want to say childlike, but like just more dumb in his decision making than like Stormy was. So like after he left the show, it kind of got less funny. I mean, there's a couple episodes that are memorable with Captain Shanks, but like the Captain Murphy arc of the series is definitely like cream of the crop, Sealab, and those are the seasons I recommend, like the Bizarro crew and um like Buckethead Wendy when they get locked in the storage closet. That's really funny. Um, save me! He's an animal. I don't know why. That. My brother and I always quote that episode because that's one of our favorite episodes. That's one of my favorite episodes. My personal favorite episode is the one. I don't know the name of the episode, but it's the one where they have that fake movie Tin Fins. I don't remember the name of the episode. I think it's called like Tin Fins or something. I think it has 10 fins in the title. It's like a spoof on a movie, and I don't know. It's just really funny. Um, like that episode is one of my favorite episodes. And then like the ones with the gloops or the gleeps, whatever they are. They're like and Murphy calls him Squish Face, and he names one of them randomly Kevin for some reason. I always thought that was funny. I was like, that's funny. Um, but yeah, I don't know. C-Lab, I think it's kind of gets slept on, and not a lot of people talk about it. And fans of Archer might recognize the animation style and the people that created Archer because they also, at least one of the guys, created C-Lab that created Archer. So, um, that is cool for Archer fans. Now, admittedly, I'm not a big Archer fan. I've tried watching the show. Nothing. It's not bad. It's just not my cup of tea. It's just kind of weird. It's like a James Bondy comedy type show. I do like H. John Benjamin. I think he's a good pick for Archer because I like him as Coach McGurk and Bob Belcher from Bob's Burgers. Because I've recently gotten into watching Bob's Burgers, and that's actually a really good show, and so is Home Movies as well. But he voices Archer. But I believe, and someone in the comments, a fan of Archer, can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I believe there's one episode early on in Archer, like within the first couple of seasons, I believe they reference Captain Murphy in one of the episodes. I read that somewhere. I don't know if that's true or not because I'm not like diehard into watching Archer. Like I've watched it a few times when it's on, but I don't know. So that if they really did do that, that's kind of cool. They put a nod into um that show about Sealab and to Captain Murphy slash Harry Goss, because, like I said, he was the reason the show was really funny. And like I said, the show kind of got stupid after um, after Harry Goss left because it just wasn't as funny. But like I said, there's still funny episodes. I don't want to get that like misconstrued, but it's definitely worth watching, especially if you have Max or something. If you have Max, I believe it's still on there at the time of me recording this. Because I don't know for sure because the person's Max we were using isn't currently paying for it right now, so I can't check, but I'm pretty sure it's on there still. So if you want to watch it and check it out, please go check it out before Max decides to remove it, because who knows if they will. And if you want to own it physically, just buy the individual seasons. Don't be a nerd like me and buy this unless you really want to get like a conducive set of it, and you want to spend like $50 on it, and you don't mind spending that much. Then I guess go ahead because it's packaged fairly nice. Like these easily come out. Like you can easily just take this thing out, like so. Well, it's not coming out right now because I have it locked in. But you can take the disc holder out. But there's what it kind of looks like. It's I believe it's 8 discs or something like that. Oh yeah, it is 8 discs. I just because it's pretty dark over here. The lights aren't super bright, so I couldn't really read it. But yeah, it's 8 discs. So honestly, if you want to own it physically, just buy the individual seasons. They're pretty damn cheap now, I believe. I don't think they're super expensive. Um, sorry, I like to fidget with DVD cases when I have them. I'm weird. I always like to open and close them. I don't know. It's satisfying. But anyway, I'm gonna put this down so I don't keep doing that. Because if I don't, I'm gonna keep doing it. It's gonna annoy people. Anyway, but yeah, definitely go check this show out. And I know my brother in the comments is gonna comment and say his favorite episodes, his favorite parts, and he'll tell you guys to watch it as well because it is a really funny show. And I still think it's aged fairly well. Some of the jokes are a little bit insensitive for today's culture, but get over it, people. Come on, like I know the Black Debbie joke will kind of rub people the wrong way, probably. And there is one joke. I'll just mention it now, just to warn people. They do make one joke about the disease progeria in in the show. I'm not laughing about progeria. I'm laughing about the joke they do because they're making fun of Dr. Phil. They call it Dr. Frill, I believe. And like somebody on there is like getting a makeover and they have progeria, and the person's like, "I feel pretty," and then they cut to Stormy because they're watching a TV. They get a new TV, and Stormy's like, "Yeah, pretty damn old looking," and I don't know why it's just really funny the way he says it. I know I shouldn't laugh at it, but it's hilarious. But I just wanted to warn people, like there are a little bit of insensitive jokes that I think will rub people the wrong way. So just be forewarned that it can be somewhat offensive, and it's really not for kids. Like don't watch this with like your 5-year old or your 6-year old. Your teenager like 12, 13 to like 14. Yeah, that's fine because they'll get every joke by then, but don't be watching it with like young kids because there's a lot of sexual jokes and sexual content in there. But anyway, I think it's worth checking out, and I really do appreciate you guys on Patreon supporting the channel and allowing me to pick this up for my personal DVD media collection because I really do enjoy this show. I do plan to watch it, binge it at some point down the line, so I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. It really does mean a lot to me. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end this video here and say thanks for watching. And shout out to my Patreon supporters. Okay, so shout out to go to Matt Y99, representing 734, Title Cal, AJ Godwell, Oliver Frederick, Zoal FB, it's me, Charles, Joe, William Swift, Grip 17, Sean McKeon, Reverse Security, Hall, Artistic Tomahawk, Pre-Lab, Just Drew, Are You Insane, HHG Fan, George McConnell, Elliot Scott, Benjamin Tellen, and Mac Lomasaro. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Like I said, this was about Sealab 2021. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys go check it out. Peace.